first off, Dalton, what do you think, man? You want to get into the young core here? Who is your young core, man?
So my favorite young core right now. Now this is solely off young core, not team success. Is the Sacramento Kings. They got. I'm going to talk about 5 of their young players that I consider in their young core, and we're considering 24 younger as the young core, and that's Deaaron Fox, Tyrese Haliburton, Davion Mitchell, Marvin Bagley, and Terence Davis. So they're all the young core, but I'll start with Fox. I mean, I know who did I say was the most underrated player in the league? Drew Holiday. De'Aaron Fox. After doing all this research, I'm like, yeah, this guy's the most underrated player in the league. He's 23 last season, just last season alone. 25 points per game, 7.2 assists, 1.5 steals, 1.8 three-pointers made off 32%. Obviously, that could be better, but still, 25 points per game, that's crazy. And the notable thing is he's the only one on a big contract this season. He's making $28 million, and it increases about $2 million for a 5-year contract. Like, that's actually that's a really good position for the Kings to be in.
And everyone would argue he deserves that contract. Like, he's definitely a very good player.
Yeah, it's one of the few things that when a player that's not an all-star gets that contract, everyone's like, yeah, all right, cool. They're like, yep, no argument.
Makes sense.
But he's the fastest player in the NBA. Like, that's for sure now. Now that John Wall's a zombie.
Yep.
But breaking down what he does, so like a lot of guys, he's the master of pick and roll. He doesn't just find the roller as in a simple, the basic pick and roll, but he's tossing lobs. He's aware of the wings, which is very valuable, especially with Buddy Hield and Tyrese Haliburton, who are really good 3-point shooters. He can hit it to the wing. He can hit it to the corner. He finds all of it. He's able to manipulate the pick and roll in any way he wants.
Yeah, he's a smart player. Very good passer, and just as fast as he is with his legs, he has fast passes into the paint as well. So with the Kings, it's kind of like got to find that big guy.
Yeah, he's a very smart player, especially at 23. If this is the guy you're going to build around, which he's a guy you can build around. I don't think he'll be the number 1 on a championship team, but he could mold into a number 2. You could definitely do that. And he could make the jump to number 1. We'll see. We'll see in the future. He's definitely got the potential to. But
yeah, I mean, just given where the league's at, I could see him becoming a top 5 point guard at some point.
Oh yeah, for sure. And not only creating space, but he's able to find players, filling the gaps in the defense. So when he's driving, he knows exactly where everyone is. He can hit that extra pass. He's not just driving in there to score. He's driving in there to create space that way, and that's awesome. And
he's methodical.
Yeah, extremely. Except for, so he doesn't always have a plan when he goes down. A lot of times he'll get trapped in and he'll try to force up a bad layup, and that brings up one of my points about him not having. He's the 36th most blocked player in the NBA. 8.6% of his shots get blocked, which is actually a crazy amount. I mean, he still shoots 48%. So even though he's getting blocked 8.6% of the time, he still has that's ideal efficiency for a guard, I would say, is 48%. But,
yeah. No, I mean, that's very solid for a guard, I feel like.
And he does still need to work on his accuracy, but it's getting better every year. It's not a huge hole in his game. But so just like the Knicks had this playoffs, another issue he has is he always goes left, he can't go right. Which you're finding as a huge hole. Like, defenses are just built around that now. Like, the Knicks were really exposed about that, and that's what they tried to do with Harden. Even though he's super ambidextrous. What was it, 2 years ago? That was like the Bucks' plan, is force him left. No, force him right, because Harden's left-handed. And eventually he figured it out because he's a Hall of Fame player. But it's a real scheme that NBA players will run now. But yeah, he's very unpolished. Super easy to guard when he goes to the right. That's a lot of times that's where he gets blocked. And but in guards under 6'6", he has the 4th best in efficiency on drives. fourth best. Guards under 6'6". That's awesome. It's because of his speed. He can get in front of them super fast, but not only he's super athletic, he can get up, jump up. He's the smarter moves. He's got a whole arsenal of moves when he gets down there. So that's what really is good for him. But my last thing on De'Aaron Fox is so his defense, his on-ball defense, it's good. It's what you want. But he overcommits to his team defense. It's hard for him to stay engaged on one off ball. If they don't have the ball, off ball movement, he'll lose them. He just doesn't pay attention as fast. He'll trail defenders because he's not paying attention, so they'll get that extra step. And in the NBA, that's all she wrote. If they get that extra step. But definitely he's improving on that end. But at the same time, when you're scoring 25 points per game, you can only put in so much effort towards defense, right? Your primary defender can't be your primary scorer. So,
definitely not.
My next guy is Tyrese Haliburton. He's 21. He had a great rookie season, 13 points per game, 5.3 assists. I'll get to all their assists soon, too. 1.3 steals, 40% from 3 on 2.1. He's 6'5". So I imagine, especially if Davion Mitchell turns into the guy they want him to turn into and Buddy Hield gets a good trade somewhere else, I think he could be their 3, a smaller 3, but a small ball 3, definitely. I think that could work with his defense. They still need an interior presence. I think that would really help them out. But he's a great compliment for De'Aaron Fox. Mm-hmm. He can take the ball out of De'Aaron's hands, so he can run, make his own plays, and so he's not the only facilitator. He can run off ball. He's, like I just said, he can defend perimeter super well, and I see him turning into a really good, not Drew Holiday but like Kyle Lowry defense. He's going to come out there and play defense for you. He's going to do what he needs to do. Yeah.
Yeah, I love Halliburton. The only thing about him is this jump shot is so weird, and people weren't sure if that was going to translate well to the NBA. Obviously, he's making shots, so no one's going to question it as long as he's making them.
His
right?
Free throws were in the 70s. That's fine. That's what I expect out of a rookie. So I mean, it's working. Mm-hmm. And he played the whole season, I think. I didn't look up his games, and once Buddy's gone, he'll finally take over a starting role. Mm-hmm. I think he actually was starting over Buddy, but I think
I'm pretty sure he was.
That much more possessions. He'll really blossom as their second best young player.
Yeah, absolutely. I see that happening, no doubt. I mean, I've got him on my fantasy team, and so as a biased man, I'm all on the Halliburton train.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely the direction they should go over Buddy Hield. Obviously, Buddy Hield's not their small forward because Buddy Hield can't play defense, can't or won't, whatever. Pick one.
Well, they have Harrison Barnes for that. He's nice right now. Yeah. They're probably going to have to get a new small forward at some point, but I kind of like him for the Kings for now.
So Davion Mitchell, 22, the guy they just drafted. So his summer league stats is what I got here. That we're going off of the 2 games he's played. 11 points per game, 6.5 assists, 3.5 fouls, but 40% from 3, 57% from the field. He's a 6'2" guard. I see him as their shooting guard, if not a 6-man, if they move Tyrese to the 2 and run him off. But great perimeter defender, probably the best defender out of all 5 of the guys I'm going to mention. He can hit up from outside efficiently. He's a perfect role for building around a player if you're not trying to get that player. Like the Magic are trying to find that player right now. Kings have it. De'Aaron Fox, and now they're just trying to fit guys around him, and I think he's a perfect fit in the system they're trying to create around him. They have him for 4 more years on a rookie deal. I said that. I just mentioned that. Yeah, shooting guards where I ideally 6'2". He can't really play anything else. He could be your point guard off the bench. I'd like to see him a starter. I'd like to see them, assuming they get someone to hold down the middle that not Rashad Holmes. That's a threat in the paint. I think they could run a 3-man with Tyrese, Davion, and De'Aaron Fox. But also, it's really going to help him out because he doesn't have to be stressed with. You got 2 other guys who can make plays. Like how many these first 3 guys? 6.5 assists, 5.3 assists, 7.2 assists. These guys are all playmakers and they can shoot. I think that's Like, we've never seen that many guys on a team that can just everyone can pass, everyone can make the play, everyone can make. Like, I'm super interested to see how well their offense can go in that, because all of them have been point guards, and they are all different sizes, and they can guard different sizes. Well, two of them anyway, they can guard different positions. So that'll be really cool to see in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. Facilitating wise, there's a lot of potential. The only question that I have is Davion Mitchell didn't seem super excited to get picked by the Kings because, like you said, they've already got Fox and Haliburton. He wanted to maybe go to a spot where he thought he'd be starting right away. But, hey, I mean, from the Kings' perspective, they were just taking who they thought was the best player overall there. So hard to blame them there. Davion Mitchell, I think, has a ton of potential in this league as a ball handler and a guy who can drive to the rim at any point. And the whole point of the NBA and playing basketball is you need guys who can get you buckets. And this guy can get buckets, no problem. He's is he 23 or 24?
22.
He's one of the two,
22.
Right? He's 22. Okay, my bad. Yeah, so he's 22, about as old as you can be, graduating college in 4 years. And, hopefully with that, he's more NBA ready. He had a good three-point shot in college, shooting over 40%. And, I loved him in the tournament. He helped get Baylor to be the team that they were in at that point.
Oh, yeah. So I'm going to try not to spend too much time on Marvin Bagley. I do have some pluses here for him, but I don't think the Kings is his final destination. I think he could turn out to be a solid player, a solid starting player in the right system. It's just not with the Kings, not with what they've already set up with De'Aaron and Tyrese. Bagley's 22, 14.1 points per game last year, 7.4 rebounds, 2.5 offensive rebounds, which is probably his best trait, if not. I mean, from a league perspective, the guy can go out there and get 2.5 offensive rebounds as a power forward is great. 50% from field, 34% from three. So he had a really tough sophomore year this year. A sophomore? No, this is third year. Starting off, but he turned his efficiency around and got out there. But he's not enough of a shooter to justify standing out and hanging out and clearing space for De'Aaron Fox. But, I mean, he can hit it. It's just we haven't seen any improvement in his offensive end over these last 3 years. Shooting's been the same. Points per game have been the same. His rebounds have gotten better. Clearly, Rashad Holmes did affect that once they got him because he was a way better rebounder than Willie Cauley-Stein, who was the center before. So he did go back in there, but he is uber athletic. He can defend. He's just not a smart defender. He's got all the tools, just like Wiggins was, and we've shown that Wiggins in the right situation, he'll go out and defend. He'll do a really good job. So it's just a different environment, I think, will help him. So he is a really good mid-range player, and he's transitioning into the type of big you want to have, like Bam Adebayo can hit some mid-range. He's starting to hit more mid-range shots, maybe if he's not an all-out three, and that's what keeps you valuable. Unlike Andre Drummond, who's just kind of just a guy. He's just a tall guy. But he's more of the modern four. He's really diverse down low. He's got he can catch lobs. He's got hooks. He's got a really good post game, but in the modern NBA, that doesn't work as fast. Super fast for a four. He can run the floor super fast. 4.5 seconds running the floor was like his average in an NBA game. He can get contact. He just can't hit free throws at 54%. So it's nice to see that he can get all that contact. He was one of the better at getting contact for fours and fives in the league, but he just can't finish. It's not a smart passer. He hasn't shown that much willingness to pass. And this is last year on the rookie contract. So I think they were going to look to trade him. I think that would be the smart idea. I think what would help them out is swapping for Bamba and some change. I think that would help out them a lot. I think that'll give them that starting center that can protect the paint. Mo Bamba's in the limited time he's shown, he can show that he can protect the paint. He still has to get smarter as a defender, but I think he's a great fit for them. And the Bagley gets to go where he can have all the offense he wants with the Magic. Like all they have is defense, and they have a good defensive system still carrying over. We'll see if it stays with Mosley, but we'll see. And lastly,
I think that would be a good fit for him. Yeah, I mean, that sounds like a good trade to me, especially getting Mo Bamba over on the Kings. I want him out of Orlando because they wasted his time there. I would love to see him maybe get some minutes with the Kings and have, like you said, 3 guys maybe throw some lobs to him.
Yeah. And
that could be fun.
Definitely, Bamba's a solid 3-point shooter, especially for a center. I think he also hit it 34% from 3, but he was off the bench throwing up these forced threes because he barely got any touches. I think give him a starting center, he's going to get more patient, and he's going to be able to put those up more.
Yeah.
Plus, he's been in the gym.
I agree. Yeah, I mean, he's bound to be pressing in his, 3rd season, what it was, and he gets limited minutes,
Right.
It is what it is. Bad shots, you can expect that. Guys haven't put him in the right position to succeed, in my opinion.
Last guy is Terence Davis. He's 24, 11 points per game. They got him in that. Was it a 3-team deal for the Raptors, or did they just? Oh no, they just got Terence Davis. The Raptors just gave him up because they didn't want to pay him. 11 points per game, 1 steal, 37% from 3. He takes good shots, smart combo guard. He fits on the team, but at the same time, you got 2 other guards that do the same thing. Like, is this really the guy you want to put that money towards? I think he fits the team well, but they have better options. He's decent catch and shoot, aggressive at attacking. He can make those secondary plays. Again, they have Davion Mitchell now, and they have Tyrese Haliburton. He's a pretty good defensive player. Sometimes he cares too much, and it affects him on the offensive end. He just like Deaaron Fox, he commits. He's able to recover better, but they have better options, and I don't think he's a bad player, not by any means. I just think there's a better role for him somewhere else. So I think they got a lot of moves.
Yeah.
But those are the 5 I think are all of them combined is a solid future for them. Kings just have to make some moves and put some guys around them to fit a system that they're creating.
Yeah, no, I like what they got over there. It's probably the most excited you can be as a Kings fan for the first time, in a while. But I'm sure Kings fans would be saying, hey, every time we get ourselves excited, it doesn't turn out to be anything anyways, because is it either 14 or 15 years now they haven't made the playoffs? I mean, it's pretty egregious. So hopefully they can get over that hump here soon. I would love for them to do that. And, I don't know if it's going to be this year, to be honest, but maybe in the near future is a possibility.
15 years.
15, yeah. 15 years is tough. I mean, the Timberwolves were getting there, but they got that off their back a couple of years ago. It felt good. I went to a playoff game, and I had the time of my life. I know you went to the playoff game beforehand where they lost, so
still crazy.
A little bit different
Still
emotions. Awesome. Still awesome. Just great to have the full stadium and people rocking and knowing you have a good team. I mean, that was the first time in a long time that I saw the Timberwolves really have a legitimate team. We were the 3 seed for a while until Butler got hurt, and then things kind of fell apart. But I hope that the Kings can experience some of that. At least some joy in their fandom here in the near future.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, are you still talking? You got anything else to say on the Sacramento Kings?
20 minutes about the Sacramento Kings. That was for you, Sacramento. Nobody else this whole offseason has talked about the Kings that long, so you're welcome.